Hello and welcome back to the Wizards of the Wall Street, where we're continuing our conversation with the wizard himself, Rakesh Jhunjhunwala. Rakesh, tell me, how does an idea start with Rakesh Jhunjhunwala? How do you evaluate a company?
How does the idea start? Means we follow all micro and macro trends worldwide. Then we monitor corporate performance in India. We monitor price movements, right? Then
Pharma, PSUs, you made those calls. Tell us how you got those ideas.
I mean, PSUs, so PSU were very popular in 92, 93, then they didn't do well. But when you looked at the earnings growth and the earnings model and business model and domination of PSUs, I mean, I had no doubt that these earnings are going to grow. And, PSU available 3 times, 2 times, 4 times earnings, below book, 10% yield, 12% yield. So it was, a no-brainer.
Did your reading help you that all other countries had moved on a privatization program? Did that help you make that call?
I would say surely, Ramesh. Reading and also, what I've learned from a lot of people in my life. I was very fortunate that when I came to the market, I met Mr. Rakesh Jhunjhunwala, then I met Kamal Kabra, I met you. So I met Amitabh Jhunjhunwala. I learned a lot of things from all of you all. Then we always, and Ramesh, always I think one thing that helped me, all of us in our career, I would say, is that we believe markets are supreme. Markets will always do the right thing in the end, and markets will always do what they do. So we don't believe that someone will make the price and someone will manipulate it, or we'll make it, or we'll manipulate it. We believe if we are picking the right stocks at the right time, at the right value, we're going to make money. It may take time.
But still, your pharmaceutical call was pretty brilliant. They really got great valuations at that time.
See, Ramesh,
what prompted you to make that call?
Ramesh, I was not disinterested in making in the pharma sector. I never understood what ANDAs were and DANDAs and DMFs and
ANDAs and
Then
DMFs.
I had a friend called Arvind Joshi, and he really propped me on, and he made me some presentations. And when I studied them myself, I found some of the valuations quite incredulous and the growth prospects. It was a real awakening because I have another friend called Ashwin Kedia. He had told me in 99, 2000 to buy Dr. Reddy, and I just ignored him. And Dr. Reddy had gone up 7, 8 times, right, in the next 2 years. So I was conscious that surely, with this kind of price performance, there has to be some reality. So when I examined it,
But is one of Rakesh Jhunjhunwala's tenet is when he finds an idea is to bet big?
Big is relative, Ramesh. But, when I find an idea whose prospects I think are very good and the valuations are very attractive, because you've got to be conscious of one thing, that the great or good investment opportunities are not going to be many.
They're rare.
So when you get them, seize them, right? And seize them in a manner in which, if you prove right, it makes some difference to your balance sheet. So I think that's what my attitude is.
But modern portfolio theory teaches us diversification. So you're telling me concentration is the key?
Yeah, but you can have diversification within concentration. I have a portfolio, say, of about 25 scripts, out of which the top 10 comprise 2/3 of the portfolio. But you will find that all the top 10 are in different industries, right? So within my 25 scripts, I have investment in all types of industries. So I have concentration, that my portfolio is concentrated in 25 to 30 scripts.
But about 2 or 3% in each particular company.
Yeah.
Out there. But clearly your appetite has gone up. Now pretty much you take between 5 and 15% of any company.
No, it's nothing like that. I never look on the percentage of the company. I look on the number of shares I buy. Because for me, what is relevant is the number of shares. Percentage don't matter at all.
Right. But within the company, what do you look? Do you look for in the balance sheet whether they pay taxes? What are the quality of management? How do you judge that this company is a good idea?
The most 2 beautiful adjectives in the English language, or the difficult adjectives, are beauty in a girl and value in a stock. So what you look at every time is different, and you look at everything. In fact, what makes the personality of a human and what makes the personality.
What pushes the needle? It's hard to say.
But I think everything is important. What's more important is the price at which we buy. I'm very, very diffident about the price at which I buy. I'll not buy at a valuation which I feel is not very, and I always do a risk reward analysis, because I believe that we invest in the realms of possibilities, right? And we can only invest in what we comprehend. We don't know what the future is going to be. And also, I don't generally invest all the money at the same time. I invest slowly, then I review, I see things, then as things unfold, then I enhance my commitment.
External opportunity is important to you, looking at the external opportunity?
I think opportunity is the most important thing, apart from the price, because without opportunity, there is no profit, right? And Infosys would not have been Infosys for the revolution in the information technology industry. And that, that's where the opportunity of Infosys is. And that's why Infosys is a company of the size that it is.
Who's influenced you, Rakesh? I mean, globally, which investors have, whom you've read, who've influenced your thought process?
I've been influenced most in my thought process by Mark Faber. And of course, Mr. Buffett.
Yeah.
Mark Faber has a very, first of all, I've learned from his, and I think I have some of the inherent qualities which he has, that look at things unemotionally, right? And don't forget the teachings of history, right? And don't, if some excess is taking place on the either side, don't believe that it will go on and we should participate in that excess or we should not take benefit of that excess.
What did Warren Buffett teach you? What are the thoughts that impressed you?
See, Warren Buffett's thoughts, I mean, large part of his thoughts, even market timing, right? And also the fact that we invest in a business, we don't invest in a company. And you have to look at the essential business when you invest. What are the characteristics of that business? How can it grow? What is the valuation which you are buying? The importance of management.
But it doesn't bother him if the market closed down for 5 years, Warren Buffett. But it would bother you, wouldn't it? That's your life.
I don't think it's all humbug that it doesn't bother Warren Buffett. Why is the valuation of Coke come down?
No, but it doesn't bother him that the market would not give a price on it.
That doesn't bother me also. Because I don't...
But you're 24/7 in the market, Rakesh. I don't think you do
anything
anything else.
But I carry out two distinct activities. I don't sell my investments if the markets, if my trading activities are not good.
We do carry out one activity, which is taking a commercial break. We'll take a pause, come back and chat more with the wizard, Rakesh Jhunjhunwala. We're talking to a 24/7 by 365 day market nut, Rakesh Jhunjhunwala. Rakesh, if the market didn't exist as a concept, if there's no capitalistic society, what would you be doing?
I don't know, I wish I was not even born.
Really, huh? Is that much of a passion with you?
For me, it's not a business, it's not a profession, it's a passion. And I love markets and I'll keep loving them.
And you wish you weren't born if they weren't there, huh?
And the motive is not
money.
See, it's money to earn a living, but beyond that, it's the thrill of being proved right and costly. And I can tell you one thing, Ramesh, investing is the most interesting profession in the world.
Why is that?
Because the kind of thought process, the kind of understanding, the kind of introspection,
breadth of knowledge
needed, and finally I feel I invest out of ignorance, because finally we invest out of half knowledge. But one thing I believe, that the essential blocks of all great businesses are the same.
Which are return on capital?
No, which are opportunity, competitive ability, scalability, management integrity, and valuation.
Rakesh, you talked about Warren Buffett and Jim Rogers, but I know you also help a lot of young people. I have a young son. If I sent him over to you and say, tell him a few things that he should learn before joining the financial market, what would those be?
The first thing is have an independent opinion. And don't have an opinion just to have it. Try and observe everything, read, but try and come to your own conclusions. And the fourth thing is, always remember that the means are more important than the ends. Right? I think these are the essential, and believe that the market is, believe in the superiority of the market. Markets will always do what they have done. Don't believe that anybody can come and distort markets.
Are markets always right then, Rakesh?
They are.
But they always take things to irrational prices and they correct back a few years later.
That's the opportunity. See, that they have taken, that markets take price to irrational levels, always believe that they will come back to rational levels. One thing I said, when you ask of your son, also you must ask him to have an open mind. It's only when you have an open mind, you have a rigid mind, then only can you learn from him.
Rakesh, you've had one of those more astonishing careers in the market. You've been, lowly clerk in the stock exchange, writing trades. You're at the top of your profession now. But have you paid a personal price for that? I mean, the late nights, the drinking, the party, has that taken a toll on you?
I disagree with you. It has not taken any. My profession is the greatest source of my happiness, right? And it has not taken any toll of anything.
All right, but how about professionally? You're always investigated by the authorities, by the income tax. Does that bother you at least?
It doesn't bother me at all, Ramesh. Only that I have to waste some time and spend some money on the lawyers, right? I know what I'm doing, right? And we live in a democracy. I'm fearless. I only sometimes feel, I laugh at the frivolousness of things that people want to charge you with.
As opposed to the major problems that sometimes plague us. But Rakesh, a lot of people in the common street, a lot of people on the street, for example, will have a firm belief that in 89 the market ended badly, in 92 it ended badly, 2000. Again, this bull run we are seeing in 2004-5 will end badly.